Welcome to Gone in 60 Seconds, where today, on another lovely sunny Torbay day, we're going to have a look around this beautiful Polestar 3. We're going to have a look around the outside and a look on the inside. We're going to take it for a drive and I'm going to tell you what I really think about this beautiful car. I really like it. I like it in this colour even. But what do you think? Please do like and subscribe to see plenty more videos and content just like this one, and let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Do you like this style? Okay, let's start on the outside and have a look at what you think of this. So here we are, Polestar 3. First of all, starting at the front. Now this here is an actual vane for your aerodynamics. The air comes through here and like the Coanda effect, the air is just pushed down across the surface of the car to give you much better aero efficiency, which as we know is absolutely brilliant for your range. Now, taking a look as a Polestar, it has little labels and marks everywhere telling you what everything is. Across the front there, you've got all your sensors, and I love the way it just blends in. They've done a really good job of making that look very cool. I think it looks a little bit like it's been designed in a lab by the best boffins that Polestar can offer. Now, the Polestar Hammer, Thor's Hammer style headlights are here, and I think they look really imposing and stunning. And you've got this that looks like a vane, but it isn't, but it houses sensors. And then across the bottom, you've got the black plastic cladding underneath here. Now, over to the side, you've got the cladding around the wheels, and these are the 21-inch alloys. I think they look absolutely magnificent, don't they? There's another Polestar label, and then you've got this cladding across the bottom, which makes it look a little bit more strong. As you come out and have a look here, every single surface has been designed here for your aero efficiency, including the frameless mirrors, and even the vane in which they're attached is aero. Panoramic roof on here. The handles sit flush and then pop out. They don't completely pop out, they just sit out nicely. Let me show you what that is. If I show you the key, see, they just open like that, which is actually quite nice. It's much easier to use than some of the other poppy-outy handles, I must admit. You got this swooping back line here which appears to float because of this little piece of trim around here. Also privacy glass on the rear. Another aero device up here with a massive great big spoiler, which has also got little vanes underneath to direct that air. You get a real rear wiper, which is handy, and then I love these headlights, these rear tail lights. It's a light bar, but in true Polestar signature fashion, they do it in a really stylish way. I gotta say, I do love the styling of this car. There's your badge, and then the cladding and diffuser across the bottom. Now these are not real vents either, but they do, I'm reliably informed, help to profile the air as it comes off the back of the car, giving you even more efficiency. Here's your flap for your charging, which is on the back left shoulder of the car. Little button there to press. When you finish charging, you can pull that one out. Right, should we have a look in the boot? So the boot release is underneath here, if you can't find it. Automatic boot opening, of course, and this is your space. It's just under 500 litres, which isn't the biggest in the class. It's not as big as a BMW iX, for example, but it is a decent size. It's probably not as deep as I'd like, but it is a nice square shape. So, you know, there's definitely a decent amount of space there for your luggage and for your family holiday. You've got a 12 volt over here, and little hooks for your bags and straps to hold things in place. And if you look under here, if you ignore the stuff that I've got in here, you do have this like partitioned space here where you can put different pieces in here. Like, I don't know, if you want to stop things from getting dirty, or you've got stuff you want to stand up, then you can partition the two parts of the boot, which is handy. You got a load cover here, which I must admit feels fairly premium, which is good. And you've got a ski hatch in the back there, and the rear seats fold in a 60/40 fashion. First things first, I just want to show you how easily these seats fold, and there is just a little clip. You push the button and these headrests automatically fold down, and then it folds pretty much flat, giving you over 1,000 litres of space when they're all folded. I know what you're going to ask. Does this car have a front? Yes, yes it does. So you just pull the lever underneath the driver's side, and then down here is a clip. Just open that, and you've got a 33 litre front here, which is big enough space for your cables and other bits and bobs. It's a decent amount of space actually, and you've got your warning triangle in there also. Yes, you know about keys? So with this, you get a little key fob, which does need charging occasionally. You put it on the wireless charging pad and that charges that up. You also get a key card, which doesn't normally sit in a big plastic fob like this. You can just go in your wallet. And option 3 is you can use the Polestar app as your key. Now also on the Polestar app, you can see things like the status of your charge, where you left your car, and set your climate before you go out, so you can make sure your car is toasty and warm before you leave the house. Let's take a look in the back, shall we? First thing to notice when you sit in the back here is just how incredibly spacious it is. It's genuinely massive. I'm 5'9" and I have got limo levels of space and comfort here. If you're going to be driven around in a car, this is a very good one to be driven around in. You've got so much headroom, and the panoramic roof just makes it so bright and airy to be in, even on such an overcast day. You've got massive pockets on the back of the seats. You've got USB-Cs under there, air vents, and a little screen so you can adapt your climate control in the back. The material on these seats is wool, and it is Polestar 3 100% traced wool material, animal welfare secured, which is good to know, as of course Polestar like to label everything. If you pull down the middle seat, you do get a proper armrest with nothing in the way, so it is properly comfortable. And then when you need it, push the button and your cup holders are just in there. So overall, it's really cool in here. There's lots of space and the seats are really, really comfortable. You've got vents here, you've got a little thing there so you can hang something on, your button here, and then you've got the ambient light strip, which has got the Byers and Wilkins sound system logo on it. Massive speakers down here, speakers up here as well. There are speakers absolutely everywhere in this car, and I'll tell you more about that later. Also noting these rather smart looking seat belts. I like the little orange stripe down the middle. I think that looks really, really good. But the floor's completely flat and you have got tons of room. If you're the middle passenger, it's not too bad. You're sat at the same height as the people either side of you. It's not like massively higher, which is good. And it is pretty comfortable in here. It is all right. Isofix is in the either two positions also, with little covers just protecting the Isofix bars. But once you take those off, it's really, really easy to connect. Although I think once you do use it, you might lose these. So just be very careful not to dispose of them and put them somewhere safe so you can remember where they were. So in the front of the Polestar, you have, similar to the back, the design continues forwards. Your door bins are quite large and they're split into two sections effectively, with a little bit of rubber matting at the bottom so your stuff doesn't rumble around. More speakers absolutely everywhere. These seats continue across, and you've got little speakers in the headrests also. There's the labelling on there to tell you about the materials on the seats, which, as I say, Polestar do like to label. Now, these, I say, are the wool seats. You can get an upgraded pack with Napa leather. If you do get that pack, you do get the massage and the ventilated seats, which I think are brilliant upgrade. These are heated. They've also got this bolster support here for your under your knees, and then these absolutely hug you, and you can change it all on this little dial here where you move your seats forwards and back, and you can change your posture and everything just through these little buttons, and you can flick the button there to change your settings. So that is really, really handy. As you can see, the air vents are accented by this little light strip across the middle. It's always orange, which is the Polestar colour. A little tweeter above there, which looks absolutely stunning. And then everything is controlled on this big display in the centre. Now, as we look a little bit closer in the front here, down here you have a little pocket here, and then two USB-Cs either side. You've got a big space under here, which again has got that lining on the bottom, so it's a little bit non-slip. It's great space there for your handbag or anything you need to transport. There is your wireless charging pad, and here are your cup holders. Again, rubber lined, and they've got little grips in, so smaller cups don't jiggle about. And this here is your volume control and play pause button. You can also nudge it left and right to change your tracks, which I discovered after a little while of using it. That is the only real physical button and control in here. Now, the screen is an interesting place to look because every single thing is controlled through here. This little strip across the bottom is there all the time. This controls your climate. Push a button there to change your heated steering wheel settings and your heated seat settings, and a quick access to the temperature for your side of the cabin. Same for the passenger side. If you want to change anything else, you do have to push the middle button here, and you can select whether you want it in manual, auto, or off altogether, and how you want your climate to be set up. Your front, and you push another button to move to the rear. Obviously, you can have distinct zones in the car depending on how your family likes it. If someone likes it hot and someone likes it cold, you can have all of that ability. There's a button there for air quality, and tells you whether the quality inside the cabin is good or not. So if someone makes rather nasty smells out of their bum, it'll tell you if it is bad in here. And you've got stuff like air quality and pollen in here. Really useful information, quite detailed as well. And then you can set up air cleaning in here. Also, parking, you can change where your climate is active once you've parked, etc. Also, and add timers in there. All stuff you can also do in the app. If you click on the car button, you have shortcuts such as your lights, which are adjustable in here. The interior color, whether it's white or gold. There you go. That's me telling you a lie, isn't it? Because I told you they were always that orangey gold color, but actually you can change it to white. Your brightness, all your other lighting settings are in there. Also, by the way, your driver adjustments such as your steering wheel and your mirrors and your heads-up display are all in this menu. You can push a button to open your boot, and your glove box, you have to do it through the button there. There it is. It's quite felt lined actually. It's a full size as well, so that is a decent size. I like that. That's a big win, isn't it? It's very rare you get a full size glove box, but yeah, it's in the menu, unfortunately. Loads of settings here. So in the drive, you can set up your creep mode, your raise suspension, hill descent control, your one pedal driving. I'm a fan of that. You can change your steering feel, just in case you want it to feel a bit more sporty. And then you've got sport mode there as well. Assists, these are your assists, your driver assistance services. So you've got your pilot assist, your lane keeping aid, automatic speed limiter. So as it detects it, it will automatically control your speed in the car. You've got distraction alerts. It will tell you when you need a coffee, and the warnings for your speed limits. And of course, your road sign information. Charging, here you can set the limit if you only want it to ever charge to 80%. We'll obviously give you faster charging, or 100%. Details in terms of your amp limit and schedules, etc. And advanced, do you want it to start plugging and charging immediately? All that sort of stuff is in there. Volumes. Now here there is loads of adaptability with your sound system in here. It is absolutely brilliant. You can set your stage level, you can go it as Abbey Road Studio. It's quite incredible in here. You can focus just on the driver, just on the front, just on the rear, or all. There is so much adaptability. The sound system in here is absolutely incredible. That's just your connections to Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. There's your privacy settings, which you can all, you have to agree to it all when you first sign into the car. Again, that's your lights and mirrors and everything. There's your Google settings, because you want to connect to your Google, because it's got a Google Brain in here. So if you've got a Google account, you want to connect that one up, and then changing your language, your units, so you can change whether you want it in miles, kilometers, that sort of thing, all in that one there. Car status here, how many days has it been in service, how many miles has it done, all that sort of stuff. It's all here. And the health of the car, of course. Check your tire pressure at the touch of a button. There you go. Quite a lot of information in there. This little button here is for your apps, just like your radio, your phone. Details about your range and your trip. So it tells you your trip history, trip meter. So there's fairly in-depth information there about your charge and your status and how well you've been driving, of course. Google Maps, Google Assistant settings, your journey log, and then you can watch YouTube in here if you wanted to watch Gone in 60 Seconds and more car videos, you can do. Performance is an interesting one. It gives you a G meter, which is brilliant for when you're driving around and giving it some, and then a launch control button so you can test your 0 to 60 reactions. Lastly, Bowers and Wilkins. Now this is about the sound system, and the sound system in here is absolutely stunning. It's one of the best sound systems I've ever heard in a car. Right, so this is your main screen that you'll see while you're driving. This is your Google Map, which will give you really good quality, I must admit, and it's so responsive. The Google Brain in here is absolutely brilliant. Search up there, obviously, if you want to search for where you're going, your signal strength, your time, your temperature, and what profile you're in. That is where it tells you about your phone connectivity and your CarPlay. And then these shortcuts are here all the time, so such as your camera button. Now, if you look at the cameras, I've got the door open, so that looks black, which is fine. But the cameras in here are absolutely fantastic. Second, you're driving along, they pop up if you feel like you're getting too close to something. They are absolutely brilliant cameras, and the definition on them is fantastic. You can definitely use them, you can rely on them. Obviously, you should always look through the mirrors, etc. But the cameras make driving this so easy. They are absolutely fantastic. So I'm in the best seat in the Polestar, and this is what it looks like when you're in the driver's seat. Now, first of all, you have got a brilliant field of view around you. You can see out the rear window, which is an absolute bonus. Your mirrors are a decent size. Now, right up in front of you, you have your driver digital display, your digital dash, and it is attached to the steering column, just like the Volvo EX90. That means that when you move your steering column and you adjust your steering wheel for reach and rake, it's easy for me to say, for reach and rake, this moves with you. So you always have that field of view where it is nicely visible in through the steering wheel. You also have a heads-up display, which I don't think you'll be able to see through here. No, that's someone's house. You have a heads-up display, which displays onto the screen in front of you, which is brilliant. Now, here on the right hand side of the steering column is your gear selection tool. Push the button on the end to go into park, lift it for reverse, down for drive, and then while you're driving you could pull it down and hold it, and that will activate your cruise control. On the left hand side you've got your wipers and your lights and little buttons on the edge there also. Now the steering wheel itself is really nice and comfortable. It is heated, and you have these touch buttons here, which I'm not a massive fan of, and in this car they are largely redundant. They're not the most useful buttons in the world. However, when you go into your touchscreen and you want to set up, for example, your adjustments for your side mirrors, then it will tell you on your screen that you need to move the button on the steering wheel, and it gives you an advice. But for the rest of the time, it doesn't really do anything. You can also adjust your steering wheel through that. So again, it's showing you you can use those buttons to adjust. And again, for your heads-up display, you can do the same, where it moves the box for your heads-up display up and down, which you can't see in any way. Oh, you can just about see it there. Can you see it? There you go. There you go, you can see it. So if you are driver adjustments and head-up display, you see you can change the position of it in your field of view to wherever it works for you. That's amazing. You don't normally see that on camera, so that's worked out quite well. So that's what it's like in the driver's seat. Now, I think it's really, really comfortable place to be. If you look in here, it isn't just a black hole of nothingness. There is a rubber-lined box for your stuff. As always, that's where your car suites should live. And that is really about it. Of course, it's got the most amazing sound system in the world, and everything you touch feels incredible. This recycled wool finish is remarkable and very, very premium. Right, when you put the car into drive, this is the view you get. So it's showing you your maps, and you can also change your display. So you can either have it so it's just the car in the middle showing you the stuff going past you, or you can have it really, really basic, but I like it so it's got the map. So it's taking the information from the Google Maps in the middle and putting it into here. Over there you've got your speed limit, any warning signs, and over there you've got your battery percentage and mileage remaining. Right, it's time to talk about brass tacks. Thankfully, Polestar sent me this cheat sheet so I can tell you all about how much this car actually costs. And as tested, this is £82,000, including all the packs. The base standard model is 69k. Obviously, you can add more motors at 77k to have the dual motor pack, or you can have the performance pack at 91k. Now, starting at £69,000, we add the packs. First of all, this colour, this magnesium, is free. Actually, £1,400 if you want it in white, and £1,000 if you want it in black or blue. This car has got the animal welfare wool. You can upgrade to the Napa leather pack for 3.9, so £3,900. But that does get you the massaged and the ventilated seats, which I rather love. This car has the pilot pack at £2,300, which gives you the 3D camera, the pilot assist and lane change assist, etc. The plus pack is £5,000. That gets you the Byers and Wilkins sound system, which is stunning. Things like the head-up display are on there as well. It's got a pro pack at £1,800, and it's got the super amazing headlights at £1,800. Privacy glass on the rear windows is £400. So this wool is actually £1,000. The seats in this car are £1,000 option. So if you're going to upgrade to the leather, that is only another 2.9k. Yeah, you can spend a lot of money on options on this, can't you? It's blooming lovely though, isn't it? So the big question about the Polestar 3 is, how does it drive? Now, first thing we have to bear in mind that this is the entry-level version. So because it is the single motor, it does not have the air suspension. In both the dual motor and the dual motor performance, you get the air suspension and the torque vectoring magic that happens on the rear axle, which is apparently extremely good. I've not tried it. However, the question is about this particular model, this entry-level version. Now, I have driven this car for a week now, and I have driven on all kinds of roads, be it motorways, country roads, etc. I've driven nearly 1,000 miles this week. I've driven from Devon to Newcastle and back on my road trip. And I can tell you that it is very, very pleasant to drive. It's nice and relaxing. It's nice and easy to drive for sure. With this, as with Polestar 4 in the other video that you may have seen on the channel, to get in, you just get in, and because you've got the key on you, it knows who you are, so it will sign into your profile for you, get your seat ready. You literally just pop it into park, into drive or reverse, and away you go. There's no on button, off button, and you have to get used to that, because you get in, and when you leave, you walk away, you just walk away and you hope it will turn itself off and lock. And it does. Invariably, it just works, which is absolutely fabulous. So the actual feeling when you drive is really relaxing, because it's nice and simple, and it's not overly demanding. It's not unpredictable at all. It goes exactly where you point it, and it feels really good. Now, over some of the bigger bumps, it does feel a little bit crashy, which I'm assuming the air suspension would solve for you. However, in general terms, there's nothing that is going to jar your back or worry you at all. To drive, it feels effortless, and you do feel relaxed. Even on the bumpiest, crashiest roads, it is all right. So, as I say, you do feel it, but it is all right. It's not by far the worst ride I've ever had. I particularly enjoy it on the long motorway journeys, because you just glide along. Apart from that one section of the M25, yeah, but that's the same in every single car I've ever driven along there. One thing I can say is that I don't think there is one point in all of my miles in this car where I've wanted for more power. Now, bearing in mind, as I've said, this is the single motor entry-level version. You can get the dual motor and the dual motor performance, both giving you next levels of power and faster 0 to 60 times, etc. And I am someone who enjoys the power. I am someone who really enjoys that acceleration, the exhilarating feeling it gives you when you've got that power beneath your right foot. Not at any point have I wanted for more. When you're getting up to speed, it's more than quick enough. And when you're going to overtake someone on the motorway, the speed increase is just like, bam, it's there. You don't have to worry about it at all. It's just, obviously being an EV, the torque is instant and the power delivery is instant, but it's also so smooth. You can jump through the tens of miles an hour really, really quickly and really, really smoothly. In some ways, it's almost a bit too smooth, because you have to really concentrate on your speed to make sure you're not pushing it too fast. Not something I've done, of course, but you do have to keep your eyes on speed because it is so smooth. Now, having driven for many hours on the motorway, on Sunday driving from Newcastle back to Devon, 6.25 hours in the driving seat, it was relaxing and it was comfortable. There was no problem. Normally, when you sit for that long in a car, you get out and you're like, oh, yeah, it doesn't matter how good or expensive the car is or the seats are. there's a little bit of a, discomfort from it. But I didn't have that from this. I got out and I still felt fairly fresh. Obviously tired, because you do get a bit tired when you drive lots of miles. But it was good. It was no stress, no drama, no hassle. It was nice and smooth, and I genuinely felt all right doing that many miles in it. So if you are cruising up and down the motorway, you're going to be absolutely fine in this. Interestingly, what I've also found is that my efficiency in this has also been pretty good when doing motorway speeds. I know motorway speeds are usually seen as a bit of a drain on an EV's battery, but do you know what? I've not found it to be too bad at all. I've been getting pretty much what it's been telling me range-wise. I did notice a slight drop off in range when I put on the blowers and the heater, but indeed it wasn't much at all. When you put on the heated seats and the heated steering wheel as well, you get a slight drop off in your range, but again, it's tiny. It really is tiny, so you enjoy those comforts. Remember, in your petrol or diesel car, by putting those things on, you're reducing your range also because you're using a little bit extra fuel. So it's no different. Just you have a lot more data, don't you? You have it all in front of your face. Everything's binary in an EV. They give you so much more information. So, yeah, if you're a motorway cruiser, this is a great car for you. I've really, really not had a problem. And like I say, I've done quite a long journey in this. And I'll do it again. Absolutely, I'll do it again. I have to say, in here with all the safety systems, it feels like such a safe place to drive. You've got all the cameras, you've got all the information around you that helps you navigate your way around. The view in and around the car is absolutely fine. The mirrors are decent size. The fact you've got a rear view window on this helps. It's better than the camera you get on the 4, I must admit. And it's a fairly big car. It's not the smallest car in the world. But it's not as big as the Polestar 4 in terms of width. You definitely feel that it's heavy. You definitely feel that in the drive. But again, if you get the dual motor or the performance, you'll get it heavier again. One thing I really do like about this car is that when you're driving it, you've got the head-up display. The head-up display is brilliant because you don't have to look far. All of your information is right in your eye line. I don't even have to look down here. Right there, right in my eye line, projected onto the windshield in front of me. My only real annoyance with this car, I think, is the lack of physical buttons. And that can be said for so many cars these days. With your climate control being on here and having to push buttons as you drive, I have found that a little bit fiddly, I must admit. Trying to do that while you're driving and the intricacies of trying to change not only your temperature settings, but your fan speed and everything. And in the menu, it can be a little bit annoying. You do also have to take your eyes off the road, which we don't like. And that always strikes me as a little bit unsafe. But again, that is the same in pretty much every car these days, isn't it? I do miss real buttons for those shortcuts at the very least, to put your fans on and your demisters and that sort of thing. And so that's slightly annoying. The Google Brain in here makes this really simple to use. I found planning my journey. I didn't use my Maps and CarPlay. I used the built-in Google Maps software. It planned my journey perfectly. It took me to the right place, told me there was chargers available. So using all of this has been absolutely fine. Not an issue at all. The tech in here has been useful, and I found it to be really simple to use. Now, the driver display in front of me is attached to the steering column, as I've shown you in my walk around. That means it is never obscured by the wheel, which again makes it really easy. What I do like about this car is you do get full one pedal driving, and I like the fact that you have shortcuts on your screen for speed limit button. Not that I would ever turn that off, but I like the fact you can turn it off. Sometimes it reads the speed signs wrong, and it's annoying because it's telling you you're in a 5 mile an hour zone when you're in a 70 mile an hour zone, and it beeps at you. So to be able to turn it off there is nice and useful. You've got a shortcut for your cameras as well, which while you're maneuvering makes life really easy, as does having your gear selector tool on the stalk here is really accessible. I find that much easier than down here. And it's a simple thing, isn't it? You're so used to changing it down here, it's not a problem. It's not a problem that ever needed to be solved. But if you're just maneuvering, not having to take your hands away from here is a little bit easier. The only thing I would say is, in the Polestar 4 that we tested, we had the Napa leather upgrade, which, whilst I'm not missing the leather, I'm not missing that. What I am missing is what comes with that is the massaging and ventilated seats, because I love ventilated seats. I think they are so much more premium and comfortable. Whilst these seats are really comfy and they have absolutely loads of adjustment, if I was going to buy this car, I would option the Napa leather pack purely for the massaging and ventilated seats. Because I think that if you're going to spend this kind of money on a car, those extra premiums are worth that money. So to drive, this is Polestar's best car yet. It feels sorted, it's planted, it moves, it turns, it's not too wide like the 4 was. It's spot on, absolutely spot on. No issues to drive, really comfortable. Yeah, I love it. I really, really like this. This has got so much going for it. I could live with this on a daily. Absolutely, I could live with this on a daily. Oh, and the sound system is absolutely incredible. If you're driving down the motorway and you've got your tunes on, you are transported with that system. I tell you, you feel like you're in the concert. It is absolutely blooming brilliant, and I appreciate my music. I love it. That definitely is the best audio system I've experienced in a car. 5 things I absolutely love about the Polestar 3. First of all, it's got to be the style of this thing. I think it looks absolutely stunning with the aero style, the sloping rear roof, and I love these lights on the back. I think they're super stylish. Number 2, it's got to be the space in the back of this thing. When you sit in here in the back, it is like a limo, and I'm not joking. The space in here, you could lie in here. It's amazing, the space. Right. Number three, I think the third best thing about this car are these driver seats. Now, they're the reclaimed wool, and I think they're so comfortable. They're heated, of course, as well, which is a godsend, and the little... So this is amazing. Now, number 4, Number 4 is the driver display up here. When you're in drive mode, the map pulls across and all your information's in front of you, and the way it sits is just absolutely brilliant. Number 5 is the sound system. It's the best sound system I've ever heard in a car. The Byers and Wilkins system in this car is amazing, and I don't say that lightly because I know my sound systems, and this one is blooming brilliant. I love it. So I think it's time for a conclusion. First of all, I think I need to acknowledge that I spent a week with this car, and in that week we have been from Devon to Newcastle and back. We've been on little B roads, we've been on back streets, we've been on the motorway, and it has coped with every single thing I've thrown at it. It has been a brilliant motorway cruiser. It has been a fantastic commuter. It's been great getting the family in and out. Even my elderly relatives have been in and out of the car and said it was great to get into because it was that little bit higher. It's got enough boot space for your daily. It has got an amazing sound system. So there is an awful lot to love about this. Would I recommend it? It depends what you're looking for. Pitting this against the BMW iX, I've got a whole video about that coming up on the channel. But I think it comes down almost to the looks, because there are lots of cars that do a lot of things that are very similar. And this looks absolutely stunning. Sports car looks, amazing handling, family SUV, proper premium feel inside, and incredible tech to boot. I recommend this. I think it's an absolutely incredible car. I hope you've enjoyed watching. I hope you've enjoyed my deep dive into the Polestar 3. Please do comment below. Tell me what you think of this, whether you like it. And also, please do like and subscribe to the channel so you can see more videos like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.